You know what I'm saying? Based upon how you're speaking and how you're talking, I can tell Allah is trying to emphasize and show me His power. You know what I'm saying? I just want to know. I don't never knock away Allah's power. You know what I'm saying? That's just not my truth. You know what I'm saying? Truth is perception. You know what I'm saying? That's not my perception. I don't perceive Arabic religion. I don't perceive Jerusalem or Christianity religion. You know what I'm saying? I perceive African spirituality. And when I see it, you know what I'm saying? First, I'm going to feel it. You know what I'm saying? When I feel it, and then when I see it, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna determine based upon your response and my perception. That's what you know. Unless you know for a fact, hey, look, I follow consciousness. You know what I'm saying? My perception is the laws of my it. I follow the 42 laws of my it. You feel me? So I don't know what I feel like. I don't know what your perception is, but I'm picking up some sense like it may be Allah. And you know what I'm saying? And I follow African spirituality. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a melanated being. So as a melanated being, I'm not going to be a European created based organization. I'm not going to follow anything that Moses created. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that Moses got his information from a higher source, and Moses wasn't that higher source. And everybody and their mama want to follow Moses because Moses created Babylon. You feel me? And when you're a Christian, when you're a Islamic, when you're whatever, look up the Arabic slave trade. We got all these black. Mm, 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 mm. Mm. Okay, so. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, so you have religion and then you have science, right? Religion is based upon the physicality, right? The science is the understanding of the call beyond the soul, all right? And the science is actually understanding quantum, all right? So that's why Baba G, the Most High, had quantum five sciences a part of the as the quantum, because when you understand quantum and you understand how quantum operates, then you know that religion is a physical aspect, right? And within religion, there is a truth within religion, right? Because everything has a beginning, a foundation. So to understand the future, you have to understand the past. So when you dig deep within your own system of what you may practice based upon the region that you were born in. So everybody, what's up, Queen Mayette? Peace to the gods. All right. So when you're speaking on vibrations and when you're speaking on waves, right, and you're speaking on quantum, right, then you understand uh, quantum is nothing but everything that you don't see. Quantum is the invisible of what basically what it is that you can see. And also, when you start studying quantum, then you start understanding yourself as an electron. And the beginning of understanding yourself is loving yourself. And that's why also the Most High teaches, because I really in the conscious community never heard anybody speak on loving themselves as a vibration, right? But in order for you to understand yourself, you have to understand yourself as in quantum. Because in science, they call quantum is nothing but heaven. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean that it don't exist. And there are gatekeepers within that system in order to be your higher self or or a true God within yourself because you are a God, because you are a reflection of what was created from you from a vibration. Who made that vibration? Now that was Ptah. No matter if you're a Buddhist, a Shiva, a Hindu, a Christian, a Jew, an Arab, they might not like the fact of where they come from, but they come from Ptah. And it's plain and simple. You follow Ra and you come from Ptah. But when you follow a system that is designed to control you because Moses wanted power, that's where it all starts from. Who you gonna follow? Are you gonna follow Ptah? Or are you gonna follow Moses? Because Christ consciousness is being have to be in the Christ consciousness is the awareness of your higher self. And some people have to go through Christ or the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, which is not the original Trinity, but there are gatekeepers. And so Moses established those gatekeepers based upon the region in an agreement with the Most High. So what you have to do is you have to understand and really open your mind up and learn and really open your third eye and really read. That's why Baba G said keep the knowledge. Because when you read and you understand what it is that you're saying, you understand when you read, those words are gonna create thoughts within your head, which is a vibration, which is a wave, which works off of a ohm. So to measure a vibration, to measure vibrations, which is physics. That's why physics exists because it measures vibration. Why do we need to measure vibrations? Because we need to be able to keep in tune with our higher self. Your lower body is the instrument. How do you vibrate when they say be in tune? Which being in tune is being aware. So when you're in tune with your higher self, you have an awareness of a certain power within yourself beyond your body, beyond your physical mind that you, oh shit, I created this shit, right? When you are aware that you are creating that shit, that's when you have become empowered. And the journey is how do I provide for myself when I don't have anything? What is the need of not having? How do I provide for myself? The reason why your bones are fork-like, and also because your lungs are your parents, right? And which is also the sun and the moon. Your eye is your sun and the moon. Your lungs are the sun and the moon. The X chromosomes and the Y chromosomes are your mother and father connected based upon the DNA. So to get the information from your genetics, you would get information from the sun and the moon. The sun, you would get it in the daytime, and supposedly the moon, you get it in the dream world, and then it plays out, which is your subconscious mind. Hey, can we get some beans, y'all? Can we get some beans, man? All right, now I'm gonna let y'all two discuss and go at it. Let's get this debate going. Uh, uh, I don't. I was talking. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What's up? This peace is peace to the God. So the sun and the moon, the sun and the moon is to remember that you are separated from your higher self. Mhm, mhm. Mhm, 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 mhm. He's like, he's like, man, I've been trying to. Mhm, that's why I don't say good morning. That's why I don't say good morning, because you got to connect yourself to the atom. And when you understand how you are as an atom, because if your higher self, okay, break it down, right? If your higher self and we are all one in our higher self, right? That means we all come from an atom, which means we all meet to part again. So when we go back into the dream world as an atom, we have to understand how we operate as a plus and as a negative, as an atom, as an electron. And an electron, when you start talking about electrons in the science of physics and electrons, that's nothing but a photon. which is a light signal, which is nothing but quantum. Mhm. That's why they close. That's why they have to peep game, right? Peep game, right? That's why they close, right? Because you have to receive information. And then when you sleep, the longer you sleep, the more information you get, right? And then your judgment day comes from when you don't receive any more information and then you get asked certain questions when you don't have to come back to school. So basically, Earth is a mystery school. We're all chosen to learn the truth, but your perception is your free will. When you ain't learning. So peep game, right? So peep game. So peep game. Now you can create your dreams and your higher self when you coming back and forth, right? As a student, right? Let's just say you a student of it, right? And you coming back and forth as a student, right? Now when you graduate and you can't go back up there no more, and you have to pass your test, and you can't pass your test, you can't go back up there no more. So some people use their time wisely, and then some people don't. That's why people be on a spiritual journey or a spiritual quest because it's something within themselves, and within yourself is your higher self. That's the self that you can't see because when you go close your eyes at night, you're going in two places at one time because you're only there for a permanent for a few hours, like going to pick up your refund check in the financial aid line. So everybody's just in line waiting on their number to call to win their judge, which is the loss of my it. Go ahead, bro. Now, what you think about that? What you think about that right there? At the end of the day, right? You, so, game. Astral projection. Astral projection is just seeing your ball. So you have your rod, your card, and your ball. Astral projection is your ball. That's why you have your birds. And that's why the Egyptians used animal heads because they knew the frequency. So they put on the animal head as a ritual to connect to their higher self when they were here on earth so they can manifest wealth. So you go up to heaven and you get your money and your bank, and then you come back here on earth, and then you do you already know you already in motion. The vibration is in motion. And so when you connect to the right source, you create what it is that you want. But the symbolism of your ball is the bird, which is astral projection, is nothing but being able to see yourself as your higher self. When you can see your higher self, you're gonna start cussing your ass out. Because your higher self is living way better than you are. And your higher self is selfish and stingy and jealous. And you like, wait a minute, when you become that your higher self is living this good, and you can see your higher self living this well, you gonna really stress yourself out, and then you have to love yourself. Because then you have to forgive yourself for not treating yourself right. And then that's why you ain't got everything that your higher self got, just like when you in your dream world when they say follow your dreams. Yeah, your the auras is this the invisible to remind you of what you've seen in the real world because this is not the real world. This is a hologram. The songs of the spirits is just nothing but you. Everything is you. Are you aware of it's you or not? Now that's quantum. That means that means you're seeking. That means you're seeking that you are seeking some knowledge, advice, or you are seeking some sort of wisdom, and you knew in their heart that they could give it to you. So you created that light, which is information, is that source of light. So when you're looking at that light, you're looking at that information. Does that make sense? So you gotta start. So to understand orbs, you gotta understand photons, mhm, which is like electrons, which is it goes back to being an atom. So that's why I always say in the more I be like atom, is we have to remind ourselves that we are an atom first. We come as an atom, and then we develop as an electron and create a cell body. But the cell body, once it's made, its Earth is the coffin of the cell body. But the spirit and the mind and the spirit and the soul is nothing but your subconscious mind, your subconscious part of your brain, and a physical will to remember that this here is only a journey. The journey is because you have amnesia. See, when you were born, you forget where you come from because in order to obtain true power, the goal is to be an elder. And in order or to be an ancestor or an elder, but an elder, in order to be an ancestor, you have to be an elder. And in order to be an elder, you have to be on earth. So that's the journey. That's why that's the test. And then you figure out what your purpose is, and your thought and your question in your head is, what is actually my purpose? I know that there's something more to this. And you see your higher self with a Benz, or you see your higher self buying something that you've always wanted. You visualize and you dream of owning that car. And then in your dreams, you see yourself driving that car. So if you haven't gotten that car yet, you draw it on paper. You draw that car on paper. And the ancestors are in the invisible, in the physical world, but the physical world is not the real world. It's a program. So your thoughts create either your reality, which is your dreams, or the program based upon your vibration, which is either vibrating at a high ohm, and that's why we say ohm, or you vibrate at a low vibrational, not saying anything. Sometimes the key is just to say the mantra, When you just even just say Om, it's gonna open up your sound because now you're opening and you're saying that vibration that vibrates high enough that the Egyptians were doing when they were drawing hieroglyphics on the walls. They were tagging the walls and they were saying Om, and they saw their mind and they were coming out seeing their dreams, but they just knew how it worked within dimensions. So a zero dimension is a void. All right, you got to understand a zero dimension is a void. In order to create that dimension, you have to have a thought. A mass is volume, right? So a mass is volume. So to create to fill in the void, you would use vibration and by sound, and you would use your thought and draw the picture, and then you will have in the physical world what you don't have in the invisible. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Drop a 3 in the comments if that makes sense to what I'm saying. So if you want $100, you will say, I need $100. And how you know that you're activated is by the signal off of your phone. So when your phone vibrates and you're meditating or you're speaking into your higher self, this is why you have to bow down, or this is why you get on your knees and salute your higher self. So you're showing your higher self respect. That's why you gotta respect yourself. That's why you say, I love myself. Because it's gonna piss you off when you see that your higher self got everything that you've been trying to get, and you've been going through obstacles trying to get these things, and you can't get these things because you got delays and you got some type of obstacles and some type of mountains, but you cannot connect to your higher self. So it is by a sound, a vibration. What you speak into is your thought. That's why I say a thought is a thought, which a thought is a homonym, which a THOUGHT is a THOT. So you lower yourself and you say, Om, 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 Om. And then that signal, that sound that you just heard is letting you know that it's been activated, because that sound that was heard wasn't activated until I said that That was more than a coincidence. So sound is the duality between the visible and the invisible. Now in the invisible world, you can't hide who your higher self is, which is your real self. You can't hide that self. So if you're shitty, if you're lower, okay, if you lower, your higher self is created by your lower self attitude. So if you see your higher self and your higher self ain't got what you want and it's shitty as hell, then you need to speak more highly of yourself. And you start out by saying, I love myself. Look, hey, love. All right. How do I know it's been activated? Because that love wasn't that came on before I said love, and that love that I'm speaking wasn't created until I created that own. That's why I'm the only person that can teach this, because I'm going to explain it to you in so many ways, but it's going to be in a way that you ain't never heard it before. Because when I say Om, I connect to my higher self, and my higher self is Pharaoh. And the Egyptians understood how all of this worked. That's why you see that on the wall. And it's all created by the Om, which is your third eye. Man, you're welcome. I appreciate you listening. Appreciate that. Peace, peace, God. I love myself. So Peace, God. Peace, God. All right. So that's why the Om is measured by the number three. And that's why you meditate in the physical world to connect and open up your chakra, which your third eye is your chakra. All right. So do you understand what I'm saying? That's why your vibrations and your sounds are very important. And that's why your higher self can hear you. So when you're talking to yourself, people that are talking to themselves, or you see somebody that's talking to themselves, them people ain't crazy. Them people talking to their higher self, and they asking their higher self how to fill a void and create something out of nothing by vibration, which is magic, baby. Make sense to what I'm saying? But that's crazy because we've been on here damn near an hour and I ain't even got on my first star yet. And I done dropped all these jewels. That's crazy. So I'm gonna go say my ohms, ohms, and I'm gonna take my break. Peace to the gods. I love myself. I love y'all, man. Thanks for those that are listening. It's not all about the beans, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna teach regardless of the fact, you know what I'm saying? I just want somebody, each one, to teach one. As long as somebody use this information and they can come back and say, hey, Magic, you know what I'm saying? I said my arms and I didn't have $100. And I said my arms and I had $100 by the end of the day. Shit, thank you, Magic, for showing me how to do that because I was trying to figure out inside my head how to connect to my motherfucking higher self. Right? Once you learn how to connect to your higher self, then you understand how to create a void. And once I teach people how to create a void, you ain't got to be jealous of me. You ain't got to hate me. You ain't got to hate Lucifer, the devil, or keep blaming the devil for everything because it ain't his fault that you ain't got it. Peace to the gods and love myself. You feel me? It's been activated because you said the ohms. The science is the activation of the ohms. And when you have confidence in yourself, the confidence is being able to see you as a strong person, which is your higher self. And your higher self is going to be able to pick up that vibration and know that your lower self has connected to your higher self. And when you start creating, when you start getting things and you start filling in that void, in the physical world and you start seeing your dreams turn into reality, that is when you know you have activated your third eye. And it all starts with the mantras. It all starts by saying your lambs, your ohms, okay? Creating your vibration. What are you saying? You can say what the hell you want, but if you're not manifesting anything and you're not getting what you need, either financially or emotionally, then you need to say your ohms. You need to connect to your higher self. And how do you connect to your higher self? It's simple. What are you saying? What are you speaking? Are you complaining? Or are you saying your ohms? Are you raising? Ohms is how you raise your vibration.